Welcome, everybody. I'm Richard.
I'm Kristen.
This is Top 30. We have 30 stories in 30 minutes coming up. Today, we are talking about an urgent warning for travelers to Mexico and how it's affecting spring break plans.
Yeah, important story there. We'll also tell you why Amazon's Alexa may be laughing at you. But first, more than 2,000 frozen eggs and embryos may have been damaged in an apparent equipment failure at an egg freezing facility in Cleveland, Ohio. This could be heartbreaking for a lot of people. The University Hospital Fertility Center said temperatures rose too high in a long-term storage tank that normally is cooled by liquid nitrogen, and the malfunction could be emotionally and financially devastating for the nearly 700 patients affected. For some women, egg freezing is their only viable option to conceive a child. The procedure is invasive and can cost upwards of $10,000. And the only way to know if the samples are still viable are to thaw and implant them. Patty DePompe, president of UH McDonald Women's Hospital, said in a statement, "We are so very sorry this happened, and we want to do all that we can to support our patients and families through this very difficult time." According to the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, this is the first malfunction of its kind in the United States.
It's a horrible story, and as you say, it's the only viable option for some people, and for some it may have been their last chance.
Yeah, let's hope, let's try and keep hope alive that it wasn't.
Yeah, sure, of course. Now to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with your friend and mine, Nicole Pedalides. Nicole, I hear that Twitter has announced some changes.
That's right, Richard. You may soon be able to get that blue check mark on Twitter. That's because the platform plans on opening up the verification process to all accounts. Normally, we see these for celebrities and other public figures, but the company wants to change the meaning of the check mark, which research has found users associate with credibility. Ready for doomsday? Well, Costco is selling emergency food kits that can feed a family of 4 for a year. The prices range from $1,000 to $6,000, and the kits include freeze-dried fruits and veggies and other grains and proteins that have a shelf life of up to 30 years. Home Depot is donating $50 million to train 20,000 people for construction jobs over the next decade.
And Nicole, are they focusing on a particular group for this?
Yes, well, the plan is for soldiers and vets to take 75% of the jobs from the program. The idea is to ease the labor shortage, experts say, is curtailing home building and driving up home prices.
Nicole, on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, thank you.
Alrighty, well, the U.S. has issued a major travel warning and security alert to a popular Mexico destination after an explosion on a tourist ferry last month. The U.S. Embassy have prohibited all travel for government employees to Playa del Carmen, and they've closed the U.S. consular agency there until further notice. And Applebee's customers at more than 165 stores across 15 states may have had their credit card info exposed to hackers. The breach occurred between December and January and is now contained. But they say to monitor your credit card statements if you think you may have been compromised. Now watch the celebration as this kid picks up a spare when he's bowling with his family for the first time.
You got it, buddy!
Oh.
You know, if we all celebrated small victories like this, I think the world would be a better place.
It may well be. Now, for Royal Watch with the Sun, let's check in with the legendary Arthur Edwards, the Sun's royal photographer for 40 years. He is in London. Arthur, welcome back.
Thank you. Great to be back, Richard.
Now, Arthur, I hear that Prince Harry's fiancée, the now very famous Meghan Markle, has been busy.
She's been up in Birmingham. She's been there with Harry, and it's International Women's Day. And one little girl, Sophia Richards, was talking to Harry, and she was 10 years of age. She said, "Harry, I want to be an actress." And he grabbed her hand, carried her across the street, tapped Meghan on the shoulder, said, "Have a talk to this little girl." Meghan talked to her, he shook her hand, and then hugged her.
Meghan was baptised in a secret ceremony. What happened?
Well, you know, it was something between the bishop and the actress. It was...
Good line! Come on, that's a good line! That's your best joke yet.
Meghan was baptised by the Archbishop of Canterbury with water from the River Jordan. Now she's a fully paid-up member of the Church of England.
Arthur, I look forward to next week when I fully expect you to top your actress and the bishop joke. See you next week. Top 30 will be right back.
Welcome back. Documents released by a group called the Electric Frontier Foundation show the FBI paid Geek Squad employees at Best Buy to alert them to indecent material on customers' computers. Now, in case you don't know, the Geek Squad are the people at Best Buy who fix devices like phones, computers, tablets. An employee said he found illegal content on a California doctor's computer, but charges against him were eventually dropped. His lawyer argued the Geek Squad employee illegally searched parts of the computer that weren't necessary in fixing it.
I think it sounds like there's an argument on both sides, but I don't think there is. I don't think that the FBI should be paying. It's just legally, you can't do this. If you were to raid every single house of every single person in America, you'd find some illegal stuff in some of those houses. It wouldn't justify it. This is sorry to be earnest, unusually earnest, but this sort of stuff is protected under the Fourth Amendment. You just can't do it.
I will say we don't know if they're deliberately phishing for this type of content.
No, we didn't in three or four cases.
We don't know if they're deliberately in every case, is what I'm saying. If they do find something illegal while fixing a computer, they're required to report it in 20 different states. And Best Buy even says it does not allow employees to look for anything other than what's necessary to solve a customer's problem. The FBI, by the way, has not publicly commented on this story.
Another story people are talking about, Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, is asking fans to stop editing her skin color on social media. Have you read this one, Kristen?
Yeah, and she's, I think, the first celebrity to really take a stand on this and speak out.
It's happened to other people, hasn't it?
Beyonce, Rihanna. In fact, I have a kind of a personal story.
Tell me.
I did a photo shoot one time. My skin color wasn't lightened or darkened, but my baby hairs were. And if you look close, it's a little more coarse right here, as many African Americans do have more coarse hair at the roots. And the photographer photoshopped completely. It looked like I had this long, this silky hair right here.
Do you prefer that?
And I was like, excuse me, can you put that back? Because that's actually how I was born, and I'm okay with it. You know?
Yeah.
So I understand what Paris is saying here.
Yeah, it's one thing if you ask for it to happen, but when other people do it for you, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Right?
It's very weird, yeah.
Paris Jackson put out a quote saying, "Please stop lightening my skin to make me look more white. Please stop darkening my skin to make me look more mixed. I am what I am."
Yeah.
You know?
And she said she's finally okay with that.
If her father taught us anything, Kristen, it's that if you want to be my baby, it don't matter if you're black or white.
True that. Okay, a new study to talk about. It shows 1 out of 3 parents lie about their child's age to save money on tickets and travel.
Liars, Kristen, liars, big liars.
Dads were more likely to bend the rules compared to moms, so what do you have to say for yourself?
Put them all in prison. I'm sure I've done this. I mean, I'm sure I've done it at some point.
We keep it real on this show.
It's also, you know, especially on aeroplanes where there can be quite a big leap, you know, once you get outside the age barrier.
Right.
Although it's harder on flights because you have to hand over a passport, but I'm sure I've still tried it.
1 in 10 admit to telling their child to lie even to play a part. Unbelievable what these parents are doing.
Have you never done it? Hang on, have you never done it?
No, I've never done it.
You have never won. How old are your children again?
3 and 1.5.
Oh, it's coming. Don't you worry. When they get to 6. You're not there yet. I mean, I think technically I've just admitted to fraud on television, so you should probably, during the next ad break, make a citizen's arrest.
Lock them up. Throw away the key.
Top 30, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Top 30. If a new bill is signed into law, Florida will no longer have to change its clocks twice a year. The Sunshine Protection Act would put the state an hour ahead permanently. This is a debate almost as old as time itself, this debate about time.
Yes.
And then they tried to do it nearly 100 years ago in Florida. Back home in England, we debate this all the time as well.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of merit in it as an idea.
Yeah, I used to live in Arizona for a number of years.
Which doesn't have it.
It's peaceful not having to deal with it.
It's peaceful not having to deal with it.
And so many other states have wanted to stay on daylight saving time and have more daylight. Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island.
Here's a weird thing. It has to be approved by Congress at the federal level. I mean, here's the thing that Floridians are going to miss if they go for this, which is, you know that feeling of you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, it's 7 o'clock, I've got to go to work. Oh, no, the clocks have gone back. It's 6. It's only 6.
I'm going back to bed.
Floridians, your loss.
Here's a talker that I think is going to get a lot of people riled up today. A woman was dropped from a L'Oreal campaign because of her skin. She was supposed to be in an upcoming ad for hair dye for L'Oreal. Then she got this email. It says in part, quote, L'Oreal can't be involved with people with skin issues. You know, here's why people are so upset about this. Khadijah Khan is a famous blogger, and her brand is acne positive.
Acne positive, is that a real phrase or have you just made it up?
No, it's totally a phrase.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Well,
yeah, it makes you feel positive about it, you know? And that's the power of Instagram.
Here's the thing that is obviously idiotic on the part of someone who works for the company, to have sent that email with that wording, which is, we can't be involved with people with skin issues. You can imagine other people at L'Oreal, when they heard that had happened, have been like, who sent that email?
Yeah.
So as a side note, the advert was going to be for vegan hair dye. I'm just like, that must mean that normal hair dye isn't vegan. To have vegan hair dye,
yeah.
Does that mean, what's it made of, like eggs?
Animal products on some level, but as a vegan for 2.5 months strong, I will say, thank you.
Vegan positive. that one I did make up.
Going well.
Top 30 will be right back.
In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 9 Minneapolis, basketball star Kevin Love, who used to play for the Minnesota Timberwolves and now plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers, wrote a powerful essay about a panic attack he had during a recent game. Well, now he's trying to erase the stigma around discussing mental health issues. Sue Abderholden, executive director of the National Alliance of Mental Illness Minnesota, said Love speaking out will have an especially strong impact on men and boys.
I think it will actually really help men realize that you can be strong, athletic, powerful, and still develop a mental illness.
In our second story from Fox 10 Phoenix, Tavia Warner suffers from multiple sclerosis, which makes it difficult to walk. So when streets were shut down for the Phoenix Marathon, she had to walk farther than usual to get to work. Well, one Mesa, Arizona police officer noticed and stepped up to the plate big time to help. Officer Brandon Lavin offered to carry Tavia the rest of the way, and she was overcome with gratitude.
He went above and beyond, period.
In our final story from Fox 35 Orlando, artist Richard Barrenechea is probably best known locally for the Starry Night House, a giant ode to Van Gogh's masterpiece that wraps around an entire house. Well, the mayor of Leesburg, Florida, took notice and commissioned Barrenechea to paint a mural on the walls of the city's downtown arts center. The piece should be completed by the summer, and we can't wait to see what he comes up with. Welcome back to Top 30. Danielle Knox from Fox 35 Orlando brings you what you need to know today. Danielle?
Hi there, Kristen. That's right. A California burger restaurant has found a cheap and reliable worker to flip its patties. Meet Flippy. He's a robot that can flip more than 150 burgers an hour. Employees still season and make the patties, but the robot monitors the temperature and puts them on the griddle to cool. A new study published in the Journal of Health Economics found infants who resemble their dads at birth are more likely to spend time with dad and be healthier by their first birthdays, which researchers say benefits the child both physically and mentally. And are you having trouble falling asleep at night? Well, try putting on a pair of socks. A new study shows sleeping with your socks on may help you fall asleep faster by regulating body temperature, a necessary part of the sleep cycle. So I like burgers, turkey or veggie. I look like my dad, and I sleep with my socks on. I am batting 1,000 here. And that's what you need to know. Kristen, back to you now.
You sure are. Thanks for keeping us in the know, Danielle.
Thank you, Danielle. The world's first flying car was unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show, and the Dutch company PAL-V is already taking pre-orders for the vehicle on its website. The model, which will hit the streets and air in 2019, has a top road speed of 100 miles per hour. It can reach 112 miles per hour in the air and maxes out at an altitude of 11,000 feet. The going price is $621,500, and there are only 90 units available for sale. Flying lessons are included in the price, and you'll also need a pilot's license and a small airstrip to operate it in the United States. If you need a pilot's license and an airstrip,
yes,
it's not a flying car, it's an aeroplane that you can drive on some roads.
Right. Okay, I won't be getting one, needless to say.
Nor will I.
All right, as a nurse working in a children's hospital in Florida, Jess Ham came across kids in need every single day. But it was a little girl named Delilah that really captured her heart. The 14-month-old had been abused and was admitted to the pediatric ICU. Ham said she was just skin and bones. While caring for the toddler, she found out Delilah had a twin sister named Caroline, who had also been abused and was malnourished. Ham called their caseworker the next morning, and within days, she'd been approved to take the girls. Ham said, "I've always wanted a family. I've always been open to adoption. I didn't expect it to happen right now. It wasn't part of my plan. But once I met them, I made the decision in my heart to open my home up and give them somewhere safe." The girls are now 2 years old, and Ham officially adopted them last October. Ham said she never knew love until she became their mom, but what she gave those little girls, I'm sure they never expected either.
Oh, sure. That's a nice story. Amazon's Alexa is laughing at you.
What?
Users of the Echo smart speakers have complained online in recent weeks that they're hearing abrupt, unprompted laughter. The laughing became a trending moment on Twitter, as you might expect. Many describe it as creepy. One Reddit user said they were attempting to get Alexa to turn off their lights. They kept turning them back on. Then, after the third request, Alexa stopped responding and instead did an evil laugh. This is what they heard. An Amazon spokesperson says the speaker is mistakenly hearing the phrase Alexa laugh. A representative told Gizmodo, "We are changing that phrase to be Alexa, can you laugh?" The speaker will now respond first before laughing. I think what Alexa is actually doing is laughing at people who are too lazy to get up off the sofa and go and press a switch on a wall.
I think you're right.
I'd laugh at them.
Top 30, I'll be right back. According to studies, aromatherapy has been shown to lower stress levels, improve mental and physical performance, ease pain and insomnia, and even help with weight loss. Which is why we've got today's top 30 deal. Pure Daily Care's ultrasonic home humidifier and aromatherapy at a special 74% discount. The ultrasonic home humidifier and aromatherapy not only adds moisture, but also purifies the air you breathe, while a few drops of your favorite essential oils lend a beautiful fragrance to your surroundings. Features include a warm and cool mist, whisper quiet operation, advanced filter, aromatherapy tray, LED nightlight, and auto shutoff. Plus, the sleek walnut shell is sure to be the perfect accent piece for any home. Pure Daily Care's ultrasonic home humidifier and aromatherapy retails for as much as $300. But today you can buy it for just $79. That's about a 74% discount. And you can get this right now at top30deals.com while they last. There's a new residential village set to open in British Columbia next year, but it's not just any village. This community will have cottages and shared living spaces to house 72 Canadian dementia patients. The village will be a contained, controlled environment for seniors living with a debilitating disease. The idea is to give them a dignified sense of independence without the stress and worry of living in the fast-paced outside world. The community will have their own supermarket, corner stores, restaurants, and parks. It'll be the country's first Dementia Village. What a great idea, giving these seniors somewhere they can continue living their day-to-day lives with a sense of respect is a beautiful thing.
An NBA superstar surprised students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. That's Miami Heat player Dwayne Wade greeting students in the school's cafeteria. It was the first full day of school since a gunman killed 17 people there. Wade spent his first 13 seasons in the NBA with the Miami Heat and was traded back to the team a week before the shooting. He addressed the students, telling them how proud he was of how they're dealing with the tragedy.
What you guys have been going through and how resilient you guys have been amazing from afar. And I just wanted to come and say I'm inspired by all of you.
17-year-old Joaquin Oliver was one of the students killed. He was such a big Dwayne Wade fan that his parents buried him in a Wade jersey. Earlier in the week, Wade invited Oliver's family to a game where he presented them with his game-worn jersey and special shoes featuring the Stoneman Douglas logo and Joaquin's name on the front. He also dedicated the rest of the season to Joaquin.
Noise from airplanes is a major problem for many cities. There could be an answer, though. Many people think plane noise comes from engines, but advances in engineering have made them much quieter. It's the sound of planes moving through the air at high speed that's the loudest. A professor at MIT says one solution is to slow the planes down. A computer model suggests that reducing departure speeds by about 35 miles an hour would significantly reduce noise on the ground. The FAA was so impressed with the findings, it's announced it will reroute more flights at Boston Boston's Logan Airport over the water and away from towns. Just 2 years ago, noise at Logan caused over 21,000 complaints to be filed from a single town. Residents in Milton, Massachusetts said plane noise caused them to lose sleep, peace, and quiet. The FAA says the slower departure speeds could be used in other places throughout the country. So, Richard, what do we have coming up next time?
Next time, we're talking about credit cards. Americans have higher balances than ever, and experts have advice on getting out of debt. And the story of a teenager who's taking on his city's homeless problem. It is all coming up on the next Top 30.